When I was talking about Ankoku Shinwa, I noted that Tokyo Shoseki was the first major Famicom publisher to depart the platform. Turns out that wasn't accurate. What actually happened is they moved their video game development under a label called Tonkin House. And while they don't have a lot more Famicom games, they do keep going for a while. So for the time being, no major publishers have exited the Famicom yet. And I'm defining major publisher as anyone who published more than 10 games for the system. And I believe that their first title under the new label is a licensed game. Perfect Bowling is a Japanese television show, and while it's a little bit difficult to be certain because nobody bothers documenting things for bowling shows, I believe it was airing in 1989. Of course, a title like that brings up an obvious question. Is Perfect Bowling perfect? And no, it's not. But it is a better bowling game than I expected. There really isn't a whole lot of difference between the 4 modes of play here. Practice just as you play alone, while the other modes put you into competition with other human players or AI players. You choose if you're a man or a woman, enter your name, choose which hand you throw with, and what weight of ball you use, and then you're off. The interface is pretty close to what you'd expect, with one minor twist. First you line yourself up in the lane, then you decide how you're going to grip the ball. This determines how much spin you're putting on it, and spin matters a lot in Perfect Bowling, even more than you'd think. In Perfect Bowling, you always throw across your body, so the ball is never thrown straight, and you have to put some spin on it in order to compensate for that. It took me a while to understand how it was supposed to work, but once it clicked, it really felt right. When you're ready to bowl, you hit the A button once to start the meter going back, and hit the A button again to release the ball. If you let it go off the end, then you cross the line and foul, and where you release has a big effect on how much spin you get. The red sections are not bad. That's actually the area that you want to release in. Releasing too early has much worse effects on how the ball behaves than releasing a little too late. The meter has a bit of an odd rhythm too, because the pullback is really slow, and then when you're moving forward it's really fast, which mimics how people bowl, so I guess it works for this. If you play against the AI, you get your choice of opponents, though I didn't notice any real difference between them. And you can choose to play multiple games, and the winner is the person with the best average score. So far we've seen one other bowling game on the Famicom, Dynamite Bowl. And I didn't like Dynamite Bowl because it felt like there were only 5 or 6 possible results for a shot, and so it didn't model bowling particularly well. I don't have that problem with Perfect Bowling. I could look at what pins are left standing and actually plan out a decent shot at them, and have it work. It's still heavily limited by being an 8-bit game. You're not getting any realistic pin physics here. Still, I think this is about as good as you're gonna get on a system like the Famicom. I put in Perfect Bowling going, a bowling game. And I walked away thinking, yeah, they did a good job. I doubt I'm gonna go back and play Perfect Bowling. If I really wanted to play a bowling video game, I'll break out Wii Sports. But in the context of the time, this is really good.